People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for watching me and tuning in each and every time. I've actually just finished my videos for today or this morning. I was gonna go for a jog and go gym and clear my mind. It's a rare day off and I'm all about self-care, but yeah, man, I've seen some Arsenal related stuff, so we might as well just go over it. The first one is the most boring one, and I've covered it, you've seen it. Every week Aubameyang specifically is leaving to another team. Every week there's something with Aubameyang. I don't know what it is, why people have it out for him, and obviously we know journalists and things, it's easy to invent stories. Aubameyang is a quality player, scoring a lot of goals. One of the only Arsenal players that you can guarantee from start of the season to the end is going to do their job, and he does it well. Me personally, I believe he should leave, because if I was him, and there's reasons to stay, London lifestyle, Arsenal and whatnot, but football career is short. He's 30 turning 31, you've got 2-3 years left. If there is legit interest from Barcelona, who have been the latest club again linked with him, or the Madrids or the PSGs or whatever, Bayern Munich, whatever, for me it's a no-brainer. You go and do that, innit? Whether it turns out to be a success or not is a different thing. If he's comfortable here and this is where he wants to be at, then cool, but I think that's what I would do, innit? That's what I would do. But either way, there's always something with Aubameyang. 1 minute, people are not happy with him in troops. 1 minute, they're not happy with him liking AFTV stuff. Then obviously, there's so much just crap with Aubameyang. Now, he's contracted until 2021. A decision will have to be made. He's been linked with Barcelona. Apparently, they're waiting in the wings for him because he's stalling over an Arsenal contract for obvious reasons. You don't know who is going to be the manager, who is what the team is actually going to be saying long term, or the plans. Why would you commit your future? It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't. And obviously, money's probably a part of it. There's probably, rightly so, give or take in regards to the finer dealings of it and whatnot that need to be thrashed out. But no one could begrudge Aubameyang for wanting to leave. But the club's going to have to make a decision. We can't afford to have Aubameyang and Lacazette, who's got a year longer, their contracts next season to be playing a part in this. They've got to make a decision. Okay, cool. Aubameyang, we've been asking you from last season or whatever, if you're on signing a new deal, cool, tell us it. Will you sign a new deal if we get Champions League football? Are you intent on leaving if we don't? Fair enough, alright, cool. Let's go out there and find a replacement, source that replacement into the club, or go and get, you'd imagine you'd get 60 million minimum for Aubameyang, get our money back, invest that elsewhere. 60, 70 probably has to be put back on another striker who's going to immediately replace Aubameyang's 20 league goals or something like that, or someone who probably has that. I mean, I'm going to probably be a hypocrite with talking about Haaland in a bit, but Haaland, sorry, but yeah, people, I mean, I would love Aubameyang to stay, but listen, especially the Spanish stuff in particular, because we did hear way before he left wanting to leave Munich and join another team, he was linked with Madrid, and apparently his granddad, RIP, who's now deceased, that was a dream of his to see his grandchild play for Madrid. Obviously, he's a fluent Spanish speaker as well, making it easier for him to potentially adapt to the way of life and all of these things in Spain. Or obviously Catalonia, they speak Spanish as well as Catalan, but Catalonian, I don't know, I'm not geography done, but you get the point. I want Aubameyang to stay, but what I don't want is the repeat nonsense of Aaron Ramsey, Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil saga, Oxlade's to a degree. Every year there's somebody's contract crap in the background, and I don't like it, people. Decision has to be made. I love Aubameyang, he's the captain, he's clearly comfortable in London, the fans love him, but at the end of the day, players come and go. Now, I love Lucas Torreira, but quite frankly, I find him and his agent are quite frankly, I find Torreira an itch. What rhymes with itch, people? I'm trying to be good. I'm finding him being like that. Don't get me wrong. I side with Torreira. I'd leave as well. You're not playing. I'm better than half your midfielders. When you're playing, man, you're making me do this 10 sort of stuff. I'm not on it. I'm not on it. The team isn't looking like they're going to do something of significance. I'm not on it. He's probably got all his Uruguayan teammates in his ear when he goes off to international duty. He's probably not fully acclimatized. I love Torreira. I believe if he was playing in his role, this wouldn't be a thing. Because how many moves was he linked with last season? The bulk of it is not playing. But I'm tired of it now. Emery and Torreira can leave, people. Anyone who doesn't want to be here, I don't care if it sets back Arsenal 10 years. I'm tired of futures and rumours over futures and players that don't want to be here. Torreira, you've spoken about playing for Boca Juniors before you retire. You're not an Arsenal fan. You didn't grow up here. You've got no allegiances to Arsenal. I get that. If you want to leave, leave. I love you. I want you to stay. If I was Torreira's gaffer, he's central to my plans. But if you want to dip, it's that simple. Sanye doesn't want to sell him, but we'll see. But Torreira's again talking. He said, Arsenal need me to be focused. I can't start talking about another team. I need to be focused. And when the transfer window arrives, we will see what happens. He's also went on to say, Atletico and Madrid are interested in me. Arsenal needs me to be focused at this time. I can't be speaking about other clubs now. When the window opens, we'll see. So he's not happy about his situation. But if you want to bust out, man. It's that simple, Torreira, man. It is what it is, man. Just leave if you want to leave, man. Apparently, Arsenal are trying to rival Manchester United and Bayern Munich for Red Bull Salzburg striker Håland. Now, for me, it's a no-brainer. He's got 26 goals this season in all comps, 6 assists. He's been bullying people from the Under-20s World Cup. He's going to have a lot of people interested in him. The only thing that could tempt, for me, obviously United is United, the heritage is obviously and whatnot. There's that. I believe the only thing that could really tempt him to come to Arsenal is potentially if he goes to Munich, etc. He's played all these top clubs. There's Lewandowski there, for example, and there's other top players. You've got great potential, but are you necessarily going to play? It's different, but look at, is it Jovic? Didn't he go out on loan somewhere if he's still at Madrid? Do you get it? So potentially to play in England, to play consistently, whether that's, I hope in the Champs, which it won't be, or the Europa League, consistent football, that's the only thing Arsenal could attract him to. If I was him, I would stay at Salzburg because you're playing Champions League football, or potentially go to Leipzig. The move to the bigger clubs will happen. He's 19, 20. The moves will happen. It's all about playing games, getting experience, because everybody loves him right now. He can do no wrong, but the scrutiny is different when you go to these teams, people. Apparently, him and his father allegedly at a point have visited London Coley. His father personally visited London Coley's facilities. Whether that's just a general chat, whether there's legs to us trying to get him, I personally don't know, people. But if we was to sell Aubameyang, I would like Håland to come in because there's resale value there. I'd also like us to bring in Szoboszlai, and I'm not too sure if he's... And to be honest, I always get confused with Leipzig and Salzburg. I think he belongs to Salzburg, but it could be Leipzig. In fact, I believe it's Leipzig and he's gone to Austria. Karim Adeyemi, people. I've already spoken about him in videos before. He can play as a striker as well as a 10. I'm not watching him religiously, but I've watched him for Germany at international level for a couple of times now. I've obviously watched him score the other couple of weeks ago a good goal against Liverpool in the Under-19s Youth League, equivalent to the Champs. I believe that's someone that's going to be a star and someone we should be looking at. Apparently people want 10, 50 million for him. Splash that on him. Bring in Szoboszlai, Håland and him, and that could be decent, people. I don't think we're going to get Håland, but for what it's worth, I would be all on it, people. But that's just me personally. Finally, Håland has been speaking. He has said, we're 8 points off the top 4, but we have 3 wins in a week. But if we have 3 wins in a week, we're back within touching distance. So it's not a crisis point by any stretch of the imagination. We need to keep calm. He obviously then was asked about Pochettino. He said, more or less, I'm not going to speak about it, but he said it's irrelevant what happens there. He said it shocked them. He kind of praised Pochettino's work at Spurs, as you would if you've seen what he's done. But Håland and Socrates, Lacazette, they all saying the same similar language. It's easier said than done. But if, and it's true, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. It's ifs and buts, we can only deal with facts. You've got to pull yourselves out of it. You boys need to make sure you get out of it. Because I'm sure the points gap or the mathematical logic isn't what fans... Or I'm only going to speak for myself now. That isn't what I'm worried about. It's still mathematically possible. For me, it's the way we're performing. It's the lack of learning from mistakes. It's the lack of consistency. It's the lack of bottle. Whether we're seeing teams play before us and not getting results, whether we're unable to deal with the atmosphere in away games. These are the things that give me no confidence, regardless of if we win 3 games in a week. You don't need to win 3-4 games on the trot because we've got Manchester City soon, people. Man City can't really afford to keep losing anymore in the Prem. They've lost twice this season already. They want to do their own thing. So you can imagine we're going to incur their full wrath. We need to be going into that City game in that, okay, it's damage limitation. We've taken 12 points from our last 4 games. Let's try and win. It's 90 minutes. At the end of the day, regardless of if they're a better team than us, it's a 90-minute game. It's 22 men on a football field trying to score more goals than the other. You never know, innit? But worse comes to worse, we lose by a respectable scoreline. We lose with some credibility. Do you get it, people? Because for me, I'm not disrespecting any of these teams because Norwich away is tough. They beat City. West Ham beat us last season. Southampton at home, our next game, is going to be tough. We should be winning that, but it's going to be tough. I believe we've got Brighton as well. And then obviously you've got City. So they should be... You can't get anything less than 10 to 12 points if that's even possible, people. They should be looking at it. There's no ifs and buts. These players need to say that's what we're going to do. And I'm not saying come out in the public and say that. I'm saying shut up. And I'm not saying to him to shut up because he was obviously interviewed by Sky Sports, but just shut up, get the things done. Get the things done. Of course, we can be in touching distance. Of course, if mathematically there. But look at the fixtures that we have to play. But listen, just look at November to early January. Literally, or just November to December and then early Jan. You've got Palace away and United. You've got to get through this. The manager has his question marks and Emery is not the man for me, but at the end of the day, the players are the ones playing. And if I'm one of these players in that back room in the Emirates or part of this 26-man side, they have to be looking at these fixture lists. Look at what they're approaching. Winter is coming. It's like Game of Thrones, people. Do you want to be king of the North? Like, we need to protect the North thing. We're going into a mad thing right now. These players, the weak players, if you're weak and you're not on this team, then you need to ask Emery to not play you because you're quickly going to get found out even more so because there's no hiding place now. We've been dealt a hefty hand with the fixtures we've got. We have been in poor form and shot ourselves in the foot. We are not playing well. This happens to all teams. The players have to pull themselves out of it because it takes me back. What was said in August, what was said towards the end of last season, and then what was said last season. We lost Europa League, we missed out on the Champions League. Remember this feeling and use it to fuel you next season. That same sentiment should have been echoed in August, together with improving defensively, which is on Emery. None of these things happen. So can we really be surprised as fans or just fans of football, whether you support Arsenal or not, that we're in this situation? You fail to plan, you plan to fail, and I don't think Emery, it all lies with Emery because he has failed to plan. I don't feel he's worked on defending and away games, which was central to our success, but the players are the ones playing. They've got to pull themselves out of it because no one can do it for them, people. It's that real. I've got nothing more to say, so I'm going to get out of here. But on that note, people, it's been a pleasure. Deluded, I'm out. Comment, subscribe, and do the rest.